Yeah, hi, this is Scott Dudley from Funnel Fella Radio, where we talk about funnel optimization. And welcome to episode number 4, where we're going to be talking about the element that can boost signups by as much as 102%. So, in the previous episode, we were talking about lead magnets and opt in pages and also free offers and what can make the difference to not only get more signups but also get more targeted signups so that you're getting the right people in through the door. So to follow on from that, let's just start off by saying no matter how well your landing page is performing, in my opinion, there's always room for improvement. So you should never take things for granted and just accept that, this is the best that you can do. Otherwise, really, you're just being lazy. Should always strive to improve the conversion rates on your landing pages and also order forms. However, obviously the challenge is figuring out what elements you need to be concentrating on and what needs to be tested or switched out. So basically, what can you change that has a good chance of making an instant impact? That's the big challenge. And one thing that I think is well worth considering is adding a human image or a face to your landing page or your order page. So let's take a look at some interesting case studies for a bit more detailed information on this topic. So this is a blog post from a website called autogrow.co. And the title of this post is 4 Ways to Use Human Faces to Increase Your Website's Conversion Rate. So if we scan through this, let's first of all start off by looking at an example from VWO's blog, who I've mentioned before. VWO, obviously the company that has the split testing software. And it's saying here that sometimes the simplest tests reveal the most interesting insights. So this A/B test strips the premise down to its bare essentials by testing a pop-up with a non-human icon against one with a human face. So if you're listening to this on the podcast, there is a option on the left which has like a telephone icon with contact Jason above it. And then the one on the right has a photograph of Jason's face with the same message up the top, contact Jason. So the one with the icon had a 3.7% conversion rate, whereas the one with the human face had a 5.5% conversion rate. So that's a pretty big increase in conversions just by adding the face to having the icon. And it's a pretty ordinary looking icon here of a telephone anyway, so I'm not really surprised that that's the case. So the conclusion here is that the inclusion of a human face in the pop-up has increased the conversions by 48% just by adding the face. And they're saying that this result isn't an isolated one either. So we've got another study here with an art shop who replaced pictures of paintings with pictures of the artist and went from a visitor engagement of 8.8% to 17.2%. So rather than having pictures of paintings, they've actually put pictures of the artist or photographs of the artists, and that has basically doubled conversions, which is amazing. So in at least both of these tests, human faces, it makes the visitors click convert or opt in more often. So, and the reason for this is that the human face breaks a subconscious trust barrier. And they're saying that the research doesn't end there though. When high rises, which is the next one that we're going to look at, redesigned their already high traffic site to include human faces, their website converted by 102.5% better. So if we have a look at the differences here, the original design has a lot of text on it. There are some small images of human faces here, which are basically testimonials, but it's mainly text with a few diagrams on here. It is a bit dull to the eye, especially with first impression, whereas the other one with the person, it's basically got a background image, full-size image of a young woman with dark hair, and then it's got a headline, a sub-headline, and then some bullet points, and then a couple of images on there, and then a button underneath it. So this one's a lot more simplistic in its design. The other one is very busy. It's got lots of things happening on the page, which can put people off as well. There's like too many different things to pay attention to. The new page here that they've created just has this large background of the woman, and it's got a sentence, 3 bullet points, 3 images, and a button. And by switching that up and completely starting from scratch, they managed to increase the conversion rate by a huge 102%, 102.5%. So that's probably the best example that you'll find where adding a human face has made a massive difference to conversions. And keep in mind too that this company, Highrise, they're getting a lot of traffic as well. So that would have made a huge difference to their bottom line. So we've got that one. And then if we go to VWO's website itself, and what they're saying is that there has been significant scientific research on this topic, particularly for e-commerce websites. When you are considering a purchase decision, the main issue online is one of trust. And how do you know if a particular website is trustworthy? So taking lessons from TV advertising and general marketing principles, people running e-commerce websites think that associating photos of people with products engenders trust. Of course, human photos equals increased trust is just a hypothesis, but is it really true? So as I just showed you in the test on the other page, it makes a huge difference. And then on VWO's website, interestingly enough, they've got exactly the same study with the art paintings, which were changed to the faces of the humans, the actual artists, and they've also got the same test as well here with the button, the icon of the telephone versus the photo of Jason. And they've concluded here that results clearly show that the version with Jason's photo had 48% more conversions as compared to the generic item, which we already covered before. So anyway, to get to the takeaways here, human photos on a website definitely have positive impact on visitors' first impression of trustworthiness. Human photos with focus on face have much better impact as the emotional connect is stronger. And they're also saying that the photos should be real because visitors can often tell if you're using stock photos. If you've seen the same photo somewhere else, it's a little bit of a dead giveaway that they're using a stock photo, which is not particularly professional. And then they're saying that the most important conclusion is that human photos are not panacea for all websites. Best is to A/B test the photos versus no photos on your website. That's absolutely correct. It doesn't necessarily mean that by adding a photo of a person to your page that it's going to dramatically increase conversion straight away. You need to test it. And then some other key takeaways. Don't be afraid to start from scratch and test completely new ideas. So whenever you can, test the human elements whenever appropriate. And another good point here is to use clear, high-resolution images because it's going to make it look a lot nicer and more professional. But at the same time, you want to also compress the images to reduce the page loading times, because the last thing you want is to add a few super high-resolution images that completely slows down the loading of the pages, because obviously there's the slower that the pages load, the more chance you've got of people getting impatient and not even waiting for your page to load and just clicking out and going somewhere else. So hopefully you got a bit of value from that. I look forward to catching up with you on the next episode, and bye for now.